Imagine closing your eyes as a teenager, full of dreams, and then waking up in a body you don't recognize, in a world that has completely forgotten you. This isn't a sci-fi movie. It's the unbelievable true story of a girl who slept for 32 years. Her name was Carolina Olsen. Though history would remember her as Sleeping Beauty of Oken, it all began on a seemingly ordinary day in 1876. On the small Swedish island of Okanuen, 14-year-old Carolina was walking home from school. She was a bright girl, known for her cheerful spirit, but on this day, she tripped and hit her head on the icy ground. It seemed like a minor fall. She complained of a toothache afterward, but her family thought it was just a coincidence. A few days later, on February 22nd, Carolina went to bed, and she didn't wake up. Her family was bewildered. She wasn't just sleeping. She was in a deep, unresponsive state. They tried everything to rouse her, shaking her, calling her name, even pricking her with needles. Nothing worked. Her body was limp, her breathing shallow. Local doctors were stumped. They had never seen anything like it. They called it a severe case of hysteria, a common catch-all diagnosis at the time, but they had no cure. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Carolina remained in her bed, a living statue. Her parents, a poor fisherman and his wife, were heartbroken. They refused to give up hope. Every morning, her mother would force-feed her 2 glasses of sweetened milk. It was the only nourishment she received, yet somehow she survived. Her hair and fingernails didn't seem to grow, and she never lost weight. It was as if time had frozen just for her. As the years rolled by, her story spread. Doctors and specialists from across Sweden came to the small island to examine the sleeping girl. They were fascinated and baffled. They subjected her to various tests, including the new technology of electroshock therapy, hoping to jolt her nervous system back to life. But Carolina remained still. The medical community was divided. Some believed it was a genuine, unprecedented medical condition. Others suspected it was an elaborate hoax, that the family was somehow faking it for attention or money. But her parents were simple, devout people who gained nothing from this tragedy. They just wanted their daughter back. While Carolina slept, the world outside her window was transforming at a dizzying pace. The late 19th century was an era of incredible invention. The telephone was patented, the light bulb was invented, and the first automobiles began to appear on cobblestone streets. Political maps were redrawn. Empires rose and fell, and society was marching into a new, modern age. But in her small, quiet room, everything was the same. Her siblings grew up, moved away, and started families of their own. Her parents grew old, their hair turned gray, their faces etched with the sorrow of a life spent watching and waiting. They would sit by her bedside for hours, holding her hand, telling her stories of the changing world, hoping their voices could somehow reach her across the void. Sometimes, witnesses reported seeing tears roll down Carolina's cheeks as she slept, as if some part of her was aware of the grief surrounding her. After a decade, the family's plight led them to admit Carolina to a hospital for a month of observation. The doctors confirmed she was not faking it. Her reflexes were gone, her state of slumber profound. They could offer no explanation and no hope. Defeated, they sent her back home, labeling her case as incurable. The world began to forget about the sleeping girl of Okanuen. The visits from curious doctors and journalists dwindled. Life, for everyone else, moved on. Imagine her parents' quiet despair. Their youth had faded, spent on a vigil that seemed to have no end. They continued the daily ritual. The 2 glasses of milk, the cleaning of her still body, the whispered prayers. Their other children had grandchildren, but their firstborn daughter remained a 14-year-old girl, trapped in a woman's body. The house that was once filled with the family's noise became a silent sanctuary of grief. Then, one day in 1908, something miraculous happened. It was April 3rd, 32 years and 42 days after she had fallen asleep. A nurse who was visiting the home heard a faint sound from Carolina's room. She rushed in and saw something that made her gasp. Carolina was moving. She was crying, and for the first time in over 3 decades, her eyes were open. But the woman who woke up was not the 14-year-old girl who went to sleep. She was now 46 years old. She looked frail and confused. She didn't recognize her own reflection. She saw an older woman with thin hair staring back at her. Her parents were now elderly strangers. Her younger siblings were middle-aged adults she had never met. The world she woke up to was utterly alien. She couldn't speak at first. Her voice was gone from decades of disuse. When she finally managed to talk, her words were childish, her knowledge frozen in the year 1876. She was terrified of the new technologies around her. The sound of a telephone, the sight of a carrette was all magic and madness to her. She had no memory of the 32 years she had lost. To her, it felt as if she had simply gone to sleep and woken up the next morning. Psychiatrists who examined her found that her intelligence was intact, but her mind was that of a young teenager. She had to relearn everything. How to walk properly, how to interact with people, how to understand a world that had experienced an industrial revolution while she slept. She had lost her youth, her education, her chance at a normal life, a marriage, or a family of her own. Time had been stolen from her. The scientific community was stunned. What had caused this decades-long slumber, and what had caused her to suddenly awaken? Theories ranged from an undiagnosed psychological trauma to a type of hibernation state, but no one could say for sure. Her case remains one of the most profound medical mysteries in history. It challenges our understanding of consciousness, time, and the resilience of the human body. Carolina Olsen lived for another 42 years after she woke up. She passed away in 1950 at the age of 88. She lived a quiet, simple life, forever trying to catch up to a world that had left her behind. Her story is a haunting reminder of how fragile our connection to time is. We live our lives rushing from one day to the next, often taking for granted the simple gift of being present, of experiencing the world as it unfolds. Carolina's story forces us to ask a chilling question. If you fell asleep today and woke up 30 years from now, what would you have lost? Your family, your friends, the entire world you know all moved on without you. You would be a ghost in your own life. It's a tragic tale, but it's also a powerful call to appreciate the here and now, to live fully in the moments we are given, because unlike Carolina, we don't know how many we have left. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please like this video and subscribe for more true stories that make you think. See you next time.